We got 55 minutes right now, and probably like 15 of it, or like
12
20 is usable.
Yeah. Well, fuck. What haven't we said about Halloween?
When the Red Sox won the World Series in 2004, the parade was the Saturday of like Halloween observed, and it was probably like the craziest day in Boston history. When you think about the incredible insanity that happens on a normal like Saturday of Halloween, now mix in the fact that the Red Sox just won the first World Series in 86 years, and as the parade was that morning. So everyone had been up since 5 a.m. to get their spot along the route, and then at night everyone was at, oh God, where'd we go? Tequila Rain.
Throwback.
And yeah, it was awesome. I was 21 or something like that. It was amazing. That's like my most favorite Halloween Boston moment, and just kind of like this time of year always reminds me of that.
I actually was supposed to go to that parade. I was planning on going with my friend Mark, but I got blackout drunk for the second time in my life. I was in high school at the time, and
that's illegal, you know.
What's the statute of limitations on this?
Drinking in high school?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this fucking badass with his fucking onions is gonna tell me about getting this rebel. But yeah, we went to some like thing in Providence and got blackout and threw up all over the place, and I didn't get to go to the World Series parade, and I was pretty bummed because
that was definitely the best parade I've ever been to. I was camped out on
you guys go?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was camped out on the riverfront, and because that was when they actually took the boats in the water,
right?
And so I was like right by the bridge, and they came by, and that's when someone drilled Pedro in the head with a ball from the bridge, and it was just
maybe it was an onion.
It could have been an onion.
Or
but there were people jumping in the water as the boats were coming by, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, these people are insane.
You'll never see anything like that ever again. I mean, they used to do the rallies in the plaza too. You'll never see that again for the Patriots.
Like the speeches and all that.
Well, they do that in Chicago still. Like they do that for every Stanley Cup parade, and it's like
I saw
awesome.
my first titty at the 2001 Patriots parade.
Those parades were like, that's why people went to yell at women to show their breasts.
It was disgusting. Let me tell you about this experience. I know this has nothing to do with Halloween, but since we're here, we're here. So I'm in 7th grade at the time, and me and 3 of my buddies are there. And there's this woman who's on top of someone's shoulders. Let's just say that has a husky build. And they're like, pretty much, if you got on top of someone's shoulders at a Patriots parade in the plaza, you were screamed at to either show your tits or they would throw trash at you until you got down. So she lifts up her shirt, and she had like the veiniest looking tits I've ever seen. Well, obviously at that point they were the only ones I've ever seen. But still to this day, the veiniest tits I've ever seen in my life. And then some dude just started poking them with a thunder stick.
Someone
Setting
that
the bar
she knew?
really low.
Yeah. She knew.
Oh, I was kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why
sure.
those Patriots parades will never happen ever again, because there was no like porta potties. Like people were pissing in bottles and like throwing them into the crowd, like with no caps on. Yeah, it was just a disaster.
I remember I went to the Red Sox parade in 2007, and like it was like the first time I felt old. I was in college, and it was just so different than the Patriots parades of 2, 3, and then however many years before that. I was like I didn't go to the 2013 one. I didn't like participate in the Bruins one. Are they like, have they just fucking died?
Well, I mean, they definitely have gotten less exciting because it was Menino, right? Menino was the one that was like, no more, rallies in the plaza, which those were awesome. Like, I mean, even if we're not talking about Thunderstick titties, it's still a great time to go down there with like a shitload of people and celebrate and everything. But yeah, you'll never see anything like those Patriots parades. You'll never see anything like that Red Sox parade in 04. I mean, they're pretty tame now, which I guess is good and bad. I mean, we got to see them in our college years, in our high school years. So we got to see them at the time where it was we could have done stupid dumb shit like that. But now as adults, if we can even call ourselves that as we sit here in our costumes, it's a different time now. They're a lot more tame.
It's a fucking bummer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even go to either of the last two, Red Sox or Patriots. Just watched them. You know, it was the same.
I was very much planning to go to the last Patriots parade, but that was like when the snowstorm hit, like right after, and so it was fucked up the MBTA, and
that's the only parade that I've missed. Was this last Patriots one, and that was because I thought that they were going to postpone it because of the snow.
Yeah.
Plus, I just didn't want. That was a nightmare. There was nowhere to park in Boston. The train was shut down. I was like, unless someone has a fucking hoverboard, I'm not going to this parade. It's just not going to happen.
I'd say the Bruins one was the craziest since like the early Red Sox, early Patriots ones. The Celtics one was like pretty tame.
I went to the Celtics one.
The 07 Red Sox was like super tame from what I remember. But I thought the Bruins one was like the first one that was, and it might have been the weather. It was like the middle of June.
Yeah, really,
like
really nice.
Yeah, so that one like
I think
got
that was,
to
like,
the
the
level.
craziest I've ever seen the city.
Yep.
Like there was nowhere you could go in the entire city where like
the Bruins
it wasn't jam packed. Yes.
Really?
There was like 2 million people there.
It's a lot.
I was out front of the Garden. It was pretty tame. I mean, I'm sure it was probably more, packed further along the route, but I was right at the Garden. It was all right.
Yeah, it was like in the middle or towards the end, and it was like.
Did you go to those
jam-packed.
earlier Patriots ones?
No, I've never been to the Patriots.
It was like Woodstock without the music.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah,
actually,
pretty much that's what it was.
It reminded me of like Ozfest, and like I went to Ozfest when I was a kid, and it's just like yelling, like every girl's being told to show her tits, and like it's just way too many people, and just an absolute enormous mess of shit. So yeah, that's probably what I'd compare it to.
Yeah.